everybody. So basically, I got a new idea, and yeah, it's called Maroon Brown, as the title of the video suggests. What Maroon Brown is that it is a book that never existed. More specifically, it's a book that has been deleted. Okay, the origins of this idea is that one day I was thinking about it, and I thought that there was a book called Maroon Brown, and this fictional book was like an average story about like knights in France or whatnot. So yeah, that was my idea, but turns out that it did not exist. Yeah, and when I figured this out, I'm like, I can turn this into a story. So basically, I decided that the game that I'm making, sorry, that's my dog walking. The game that I'm making, aka HRF, basically in it, HRF has an interdimensional plane that they can go on, and this thing has a cannon that can shoot different dimensions, and I got an idea, which is that this cannon shot the interdimensional through interdimensional space and hit the dimension that holds the story of Maroon Brown. So basically, what I wanted to talk about today is Maroon's Brown effect. So if you ever, you can technically rip me off and take this idea, but I'm just throwing this idea out to the public so that multiple people can, make their own stuff about Maroon Brown. And what I mean by that is like, if you wanted to make a story, you can make a story in which Maroon Brown is a book in it, and then it disappears. Okay, here's how it works. Step one. When the dimension was destroyed, all books of it that existed in other universes, dimensions, whatnot, they still are there. Like they you can still like read it, you can still like keep it, yeah. That but any like thought of it, like if you were like, I don't know, a librarian who was thinking about the book and did not have it or something, and you were in the library and then all of a sudden it got destroyed, yeah, all your thoughts about it will go to hell, and you wouldn't even remember what it is. Figuratively hell, and then it just won't be there again. But basically, you would forget that you're thinking about it. So then what would happen is that the in most cases the library would probably throw it out because it's not a registered book, because the registration would also immediately be deleted out of existence, and along with the publication. Wouldn't it be lost media technically, as it'll more be like what is it called? Okay, I don't know how to describe this, but anyways. So basically, once everyone has forgotten about it, and most copies are destroyed in like public sectors and also the records and documentation, if somebody has it, they won't remember that they bought it. They would usually, if they ever found it, then they would not remember what the story was, but they would remember that they bought it, which is different than actually remembering that the story existed or something like that. But yes, as they would remember that they bought it, and most likely they would take it back to their local library, in which the library would turn them down, or if they didn't, then they'll probably take the book to like shred it or something. I don't know, whatever books do with books that don't actually exist. Anyways, a few more things is that basically people will will just forget that it ever existed. And basically, if you try to spread a word of it existing, it'll basically not be like an anti-meme, if you know what I mean, but it'll like people will have a lot higher chance of forgetting it existed. Yeah, so if you guys want to put that in, like, I don't know, if you're making like a book or something, you can write that down. By the way, it takes place in the actual book itself takes place in like the early to mid 1500s, and is about a quote unquote kingdom. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but anyways, the book is about like a quote unquote kingdom of Inslavine, which is just a random jumbled letters or whatnot that I came up with. Like I was thinking of, like I am writing a book about a guy recalling what happens inside the book. So yeah, that's what I that's one of the that's like what I figured out so far. Sorry for finding. So it's about a kingdom called Inslavine that invades Europe, and the Europe has to basically do an emergency unification. Well, not with each other, obviously, with their tribes, like the Franks, aka the French would unify with the French, and you know what I mean. Anyways, so yeah, that's that is what that is you'll get. But oh yeah, and also the story starts out with the son of a father, quite literally. Like the son wakes up in the middle of the night screaming, and has a chat with his father. If you want any more detail, just ask me in the comments. Anyways, this is nobody signing out. Oh yeah, by the way, look, I had actually twisted my arm, so I have made a splint so that it doesn't move much, because whenever it moves, it hurts. Okay, bye.